taxes, more freedom, less government. What does that mean? Put your hands together for Mr. Charles Black. We're going to try to get...
Toastmaster, thank you.
Mr. Black, expect any time now.
You want me to speak?
Yes, I do.
All right.
And we're going to allow everybody, by the way, about 5 to 7 minutes. So about 5 minutes, I'll be trying to get somebody's attention up here. Hopefully around 7 minutes I will. Then we're going to have maybe 5 minutes of Q&A. So try to respect that while you speak.
First off, I'd like to thank everybody for allowing me the opportunity to drive all the way down here to Phoenix into this wonderful heat. Just so I can speak to you this evening. My name is Charles Black. I'm running for Arizona Congressional District 2. A little bit about myself. First off, I was born in California. Please do not hold that against me. I was raised all over the state of Arizona. I grew up on the Hopi and Navajo Reservation. I've lived in Tucson. I've lived in Flagstaff. I've lived in Holbrook. I've grown up all over Arizona. In '89, I made Mojave County and Kingman my home. After that, I moved back down to Tucson for a while. Continued working as a plumbing contractor. Spent time with my family. But then in '98, I decided I wanted to do a little more for my country. I wanted to join the military. So I joined the Arizona National Guard. Went through a field artillery course. When I got back, I found out that at that time, in '98, the National Guard was no more than just going out, shooting firearms, qualifying, and then drinking beer the rest of the weekend. It's not what I joined to do. It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to serve my country. I wanted to take pride in wearing a uniform. So I started doing some research. I found an enhanced infantry brigade in Indiana. So I decided to transfer. I transferred into the unit in Indiana, where I trained up in infantry, mortar, NBC, which is nuclear, biological, and chemical, and now it's also included. I spent time with that unit. I deployed to Bosnia in 2002 with Security Force 11. I worked under the command of Colonel Steele at that time. He was with 10th Mountain. I was responsible for providing security for him. In 2004, I was called up once again, and I was deployed to Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan for over a year. I spent about 4 of them where I was training the Afghan National Army and field artillery. I was reattached to 3rd Group Special together with the Afghan National Army and actually put it to use in the field. I traveled from the most northwest corner of Afghanistan all the way down to Kabul, which is the capital, to the southernmost part of the region down in Kandahar. And then I worked the entire Iran border all the way from Kandahar all the way back up north to Herat. I got a lot of experiences while I was over there. I made one vow to all my men when I took them. I would make sure they all came home one way or another. I successfully brought home every one of my men unharmed. I did lose 4 very close friends. While I was in the military, I did not want to get involved in any type of politics. I believed in listening to what my commander-in-chief said, and I executed the orders that were passed down. I would never question it. Once I got out in 2007, I was getting really scared with what was happening to our country. We were spending money at an uncontrollable rate. Civil rights were no longer being paid attention to. They were throwing our Constitution out the door or through the shredder, whatever you may want to perceive it as. But they no longer cared about Americans, U.S. citizens. So I got really frustrated. Now, when I swore in with the military, I swore to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I've served on foreign soil, and now I have realized that those enemies are also domestic, and most of them are right there in Washington. And they work daily against us. There was no time frame on that oath I took. Yes, there was a time it started, but there is no time it ends. So I took that very seriously, and I will run that oath to the day I die. And I will continue to honor it. That's why I decided to go ahead and find a new avenue to serve my country. And it also gave me the opportunity to serve Arizona, the United States, my family, your families, to try to provide for a better future for all of us. The rate we're going, there's not going to be much of a future for my grandchildren, and that scares me. I've had opportunities, they should have the same opportunities. Now, yes, I know you do not want to hear about SB 1070. I couldn't even go to California and get away from it. And I just want to go visit family also. But we are facing a serious problem here in Arizona right now to begin with. And that is our border security. And it's not entirely just over illegal aliens coming from Mexico. They're coming from all over the world. They're coming from El Salvador. They're coming from South America. They're coming from Iran. They're coming from Afghanistan, Iraq, all over the Middle East, Yemen. We have no control of who's coming into our country. That's no longer just an immigration problem. That becomes a national security problem. On September 11th, those that caused harm and devastated the World Trade Centers and the Pentagon were here on work visas. They were here on student visas. They had come into this country through legal methods. Who's coming through illegally that wants to create and do the same type of harm to our country? We have no accountability on that. We've now lost 80 miles of our state to drug smugglers, human traffickers. This needs to be put to a stop. Washington has not done the job. Yes, I have been told that, well, we have the minority, so we really can't do much. Wrong excuse. We had the majority. Our party had the majority. We had the ability to take care of our country, and we failed. And we failed miserably. Yes, I have a lot of respect for my opponent. He has done a good job. He is very conservative. But he is too nice of a man. And I've told him that personally, that he is just too nice. You cannot go against this administration and be nice anymore. They promised us hope and change. Now we're just hoping we can change it. I'm not going to hope. I am going to change it. I am going to go to Washington as your next congressman, and I am going to fight for Arizona. I'm going to fight for America. I'm going to give everybody the chance for that change that we were promised, because it is time we get it. Our economy is in bad shape, but we spend